Hi there, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Cece and we have reached the end of the year. So as I have been doing the past few years, I have this end of the year themed video where I go over my favorite songs and albums that I have listened to that came out this year. I said those two words a lot. Some are artists I already loved, some are new discoveries. I will be getting into it all. First, we'll talk about the albums and then the songs within those albums that I really loved. And then I'll just talk about standalone songs that weren't a part of a bigger project. I just want to reiterate that these are my favorites, so I'm not going off of, oh, this set records, this did this. These were what I enjoyed the most personally. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. Feel free to subscribe and let's get into this discussion. The order that I have set up on my list is mostly by when things came out. I think it's a little out of order from that, but I did my best. The first album that I want to talk about is Endless Summer Vacation by Miley Cyrus. Miley showed us once again how much of an icon she is by putting out this album. So many amazing songs off of it, some that because like this album came out at the beginning of the year, so I had songs stick with me throughout the whole year. Flowers being one of those. That one came out in January. So other songs that I really liked on that album include Violet Chemistry and Handstand. I just love listening to those ones, especially Handstand. I feel like Handstand was something very new. It didn't have like the same kind of structure as any pop song. It was very experimental and unique. And every listen, it's ooh. The next one on my list is the deluxe version of an album that came out last year, but I had to put it in because of the songs that came in this deluxe version, which is Emails I Can't Send. The deluxe version brought even more songs that were amazing, including Feather, which had a music video. I love that song, so I wanted to put that in the video because of how much I love that song. Also Lonesome, but Lonesome is a more underrated song. It wasn't really made into a single or anything, and I don't think she's ever performed that song live before, and it's like, girl, I love that song so much. I want to hear you sing it live, please, on YouTube or Instagram or something, because obviously I can't afford to go to any concerts. I think Lonesome deserves more justice. Next is D-Day by Agust. I almost did a video reaction to this album on my channel, but I never did. I forgot why. I think it was probably because of a hectic semester. That's usually what's going on. It's either a hectic semester or I'm sick. Agust is someone that I discovered a year or two ago, mainly with the song that was on his last album, and so I really liked that last album, and then I was able to be a fan of his when this album came out this year, and I liked most of the songs on it. I would say that my favorites off of it though are which was a collaboration, and then Hagam, which I can't help but move to that every time I listen to it. It kind of reminds me of Doja, which I probably butchered that, but it kind of reminds me of that, but at the same time it's still its own song. This next one that I wanted to talk about is an album, but it's a soundtrack. It's the Barbie soundtrack. I feel like I had to put it in there because there are so many iconic songs on here. It's kind of difficult to see what my favorite is because I really liked Speed Drive by Charlie XCX and Angel by Pink Panthers. I would say that those were the two I listened to the most, but I really want to point out What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. I listened to that one a lot too, but ooh, there is just something so gut-wrenching about that song. Even when hearing it on TikTok a million times, like I do admit that that got annoying, but it still does something. I am really hoping that Billie and her brother win awards for this because I think it deserves it. It feels like such a groundbreaking song, and with the amount of times that I heard it everywhere, it should get awards. It really should get awards. I know I said in the beginning of the video that I didn't want to pick songs because of records. It's more going off my personal opinion, but this is my personal opinion. What Was I Made For deserves awards. This next EP that I want to talk about, don't hate me. Please don't hate me. But I have to put it on here. AR by Addison Rae. I have to put it in here. I'm so sorry. But I love this EP. I have listened to this EP a ton. All 5 of these songs, I can't get tired of them. I will literally listen to this EP on repeat, and I'm not ashamed of it. She has so much potential to be a pop princess. We'll see what she puts out next if she decides to put anything else out, but I really could see her doing more in pop music. As I said, I love all 5 of the songs, and it's kind of hard to pick one between them, but I feel like what I have listened to the most is I Got It Bad, Scarlet by Doja Cat. Doja Cat really made a new name for herself in this album. That's basically how you want to sum it up. I specifically want to point out Paint the Town Red and Attention because those are the songs off of the album that I feel like I have listened to the most, especially Attention. This next EP, Still Blue by Gemini, came out at the end of December last year, but I really wanted to put it on my list this year. Gemini, specifically as an artist, I love his voice, and he makes some really good music, mainly stuff from Still Blue, which is the EP that I'm talking about. I love a lot of the songs on there, especially the song Bad. He put something in that song, and I think that song specifically deserves a lot more recognition because it wasn't a single or anything, and it's like we're just gonna sleep on this masterpiece, but at the same time, since it's this underrated song, it's kind of like my personal treasure. Like, I'm gatekeeping it for myself, and I guess anyone who is watching this video that wants to listen to that song too. Bad by Gemini. Also, Do Me Right is a song that I really like from that EP, but I'm pretty sure he did make that a single, so that has a little more recognition. But still, I think Gemini as an artist deserves more recognition, especially for that EP specifically, because it is a well put together EP. Something to Give Each Other by Troye Sivan really jolted Troye into the mainstream, I guess. Something to Give Each Other is his 3rd album, his 4th project, if he don't want to sleep on the EP he put out in 2020. Something to Give Each Other is full of bangers. I don't think there's one horrible song on that album, if I'm remembering correctly. I wanted to put so many of those songs from that album on this list, but I specifically stuck with Rush because I listen to the song every day. One of Your Girls because the music video, seeing Troye Sivan look like that, like, girl, and Ross Lynch, those two in one video, it needed to happen. Also, Silly. This album, Starfucker by Slayyyter, I listened to a lot later than when it came out, but I very much so wanted to put it on my list because I have listened to this album a lot since it came out. I am mad that I slept on that album for so long. I'm so glad that I did eventually decide to listen to this album with the help of friends recommending it to me and someone in my comments recommending it to me, and eventually it was just like, okay, yeah, I want to listen to it anyhow. Songs I specifically want to point out are Erotic Electronic. I also really want to point out Purr. I don't know if Slayyyter made that song a single or not, but if she didn't, we should not be sleeping on Purr. We should not be sleeping on that one. The last album that I want to talk about before going into the standalone songs is Zig by Poppy. Of course, I had to put Zig in here, not just because it's by Poppy, but because I really liked this album. I think she did a really good job with it. I love the concept that Poppy put together with this album. And if it is Zig and there is a other half of it called Zag, that's going to be even more exciting because I could see it having another half. But at the same time, if it doesn't have another half and she just goes into some other kind of era after that, that wouldn't be the worst thing. I mean, I do love the pop rock stuff that she's putting out. I like it the most when Poppy does both pop and rock in one album, because she's able to make such iconic songs when she does that kind of thing. This album was mostly pop, but there was definitely like little hints of rock going on in there too. I still appreciated it a lot. I'm sad because I just noticed while I'm editing this that as I was experiencing technical difficulties right after this moment, I don't have footage of me talking about the songs from Zig that I like more specifically, so I'll just be talking about them now in this audio. The first one I want to talk about is Motorbike. Ever since that song came out, I was insanely into it, listening to it on and on and on, just on repeat. It managed to make my top 5 Spotify Wrapped. It makes a lot of sense with the amount of times that I listened to it. The other song that I want to point out from Zig more specifically is Linger, and this is another case where it deserves more recognition. This is such a good song. Why is it being slept on? I saw that she made a music video for Flickr, I think. I haven't listened to that one that much since the album came out. I pretty sure it must have not been my favorite, but I don't remember hating the song. Whereas Linger, I'm obsessed with that song. It is one of my favorites off of the album, and I still listen to it so many times to this day. I wish that was a single. Like, Poppy, make Linger a single. I want a music video. Okay, now we're going to be talking about the standalone singles, and while we are on the subject of Poppy, I want to talk about Spit, the evolution that I had with this song. When I first listened to this song, I was not that much of a fan of it, but then the year continued. I went through some things. I listened to it more and relate to it even more than I already did, especially the more that I listened to it. The next song I want to talk about is I Like You by Tove. The song was so addicting from the very first time that I listened to it. It just, ooh, the production that it has. I love it. It gets me moving every time I listen to it, and I'm not even exaggerating. The music video for this song too, actually both of the music videos, because there was technically two. I mean, there was like a visualizer where she was in this club. She had these anime eyes. That itself was also kind of mysterious and had such like a cool aesthetic going on with it that fit the song very well. But then the music video was just like complete anime themed, and there was some big storyline going on that honestly didn't make a lot of sense to me, probably because it might have been a part of some bigger thing that maybe the artist of the music video was doing, but it was still really cool to watch. Die For Me by Halsey was a song that started out as a collaboration that came out like a few years ago, I think, with Post Malone and Future, but at the beginning of this year, Halsey came out with this song and made it their own, like completely. It was just them singing the song, and they added their verse plus a bunch of other lyrics. It fit together really well, and it was even more hard-hitting. She came with a clear statement. I am also putting in an Ethel Cain song in this video, Famous Last Words, an ode to eaters, and this was a collaboration with 1017 ALYX 9SM. It's sad and beautiful, and the music video is too. And the visuals that were going on in that music video, I feel like some of those visuals could fit with Preacher's Daughter and some of the songs on that one very well. I have a feeling I read somewhere that Hayden wanted to make a music video for at least another one of the songs on Preacher's Daughter, but she was never able to. And the visuals that were going on in Famous Last Words, I feel like would fit well with Preacher's Daughter. The last two songs that I want to put in this video, I'm just going to put them conjointly because I love them for the same reason. One of them is Black Dress by 070 Shake, and then You by Abdul. Both of those songs have such a nice production, especially You by Abdul. And when it comes to the visuals, it's not necessarily the visuals for that music video I want to talk about, but there is this video that I have seen of this girl dancing to the song, and she does it so well. I will put the name of the person and the name of that video here on the screen, so if you want to check it out because you really like the song, then you can. So that wraps up my favorite songs and bigger projects that came out this year in 2023. What were your favorite songs and EPs and albums and such that came out this year? Let me know down below, especially if it's stuff that I didn't mention. But even if it is stuff that I mentioned, I still want to hear about it. Plus, hey, we like the same music. Like this video and subscribe for more. This will be my last video of this year, but of course I will be making more reactions and more covers next year, and I will leave the playlists for those that I have done so far up on my screen for you to watch if you would like to. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope to see you in my next one next year. Bye!